Global warming has become one of the greatest concerns of today. To protect the environment, recycling wastes is a must. The recycling business has become a much profitable venture at present, and there are many kinds of wastes and types of recycling business ideas depending on the industrial outputs. Now, to put us through all of these is Dr. Femi Ido Adegoke, the co-founder and executive director of EcoVeridis Environmental Technology Limited, who joins us via the phone. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning. Nice to be here this morning.
Good morning to you. Tell us, what does the recycling business entail?
Okay. Well, recycling business first, before you business, it has to be a way of life. We need to first change our attitude towards our waste.
Okay.
We need to begin to manage our waste sustainably and begin to see the value in our waste streams. What I mean by waste streams is different recyclable waste, from plastic to aluminum cans to paper, cardboard, and electric waste, battery waste. They are all very recyclable and they have value. So, for like every other material that has value, waste, our recyclables have value, and then we need a sustainable way to manage them to unlock that value in the waste. So what it entails first is attitudinal and behavioral change, and then look for an area in the recycling space that is your passion. What do I mean? You want to collect the plastic, you can start by collecting and then marketing it to off-takers. And then you can decide, oh, I don't want to collect, I want to move to the next phase of either aggregating and pre-processing. So these are different value chains within the recycling space. But the first thing is to have an attitudinal change towards our waste and begin to separate our waste at source. As we're doing in Lagos, there's a program in Lagos because Lagos Recycle. I am the president of Lagos Recyclers Association, and we're able to engage in technology through the advent of Packham, where households can even earn some tokens from separating their waste at source. What do? You separate your waste at source. After you have downloaded the app, you request for collection. The nearest recyclers to you come with the recyclables, impute it onto the system, and in real time, you will see the value of your waste, of your recyclable. Sorry for calling it waste. Your recyclable straight away on your phone, in your wallet. And at any time, you can request payout. So I will advocate that all citizens in Lagos should start from there. There are other apps that are coming up, but for now, we've been using Packham app for about 6-7 months now, and it's been very, very encouraging.
Okay.
At the same time, it gives us raw data. It gives us access to raw data of what we're doing in the state. So I think that's the way to start.
Okay, looking at the recycling business, there are various forms. You recycle waste to new products. Sometimes you recycle, waste to energy consumption and what have you. Let's look at the various, business ventures within the recycling business. For example, there's the new one which is seemingly taking over right about now in terms of recycling waste to, energy as an alternative means of energy. Can you shed more light on that, please?
Okay, well, in the waste management hierarchy, we have different R's. I'm sure you're conversant with the basic one that is called the 3 R's.
Yes.
Which is reduction, reuse, and recycle. But we actually have about 5 to 7 R's, which when you to manage your waste sustainably, you start from refusal, you refused, and in where you cannot refuse, then you minimize, you reduce. And then when you cannot reduce it that much, you reuse. And then you go to recycling. And then the one you are talking about is recovery.
Okay.
We can recover energy from our waste. And we can recover energy from our waste because of the carbon content that is one of the major constituents of our waste. Like in Nigeria, generally, and Lagos, the bulk of our waste is organic.
Yes.
And organic waste in Nigeria is about over 50% that we generate. And if that is properly managed, we can actually get biogas which can be used to fire the generator
Yes.
for our electricity provision. And at the same time, you can get organic manure, organic fertilizer, organic compost that we can use for agriculture as well. Yeah, but we're not exploring that into its full potential.
Okay.
But it's a gradual process. It's a gradual process. We have started the movement and it's gaining traction. We started with the dry recyclables. What we call dry recyclables are the dry materials like the plastic, the paper, the aluminum cans. But the wet waste are our organic waste, which is more prevalent here. So we can actually generate biogas, energy, which contribute a lot to climate change because of the greenhouse gas emission that we get from organic waste. So if it is properly managed and captured, the greenhouse gas, which is the methane gas, can actually be a source of energy. Rather than when it's left to be in the open, that is dangerous, causing depletion to the ozone layer. So that is about generating.
So let's talk about starting a business, a recycling business. What are some of the equipment needed to delve into this kind of business?
Well, like I said earlier on, it depends on the entry point, because in the recycling space now, I'll say we have the downstream, the midstream, and the upstream. The downstream is if you want to just start collecting, all you need is a little space to start with, and then collection receptacles like bags, nets, and then identify the area where you want to collect from. That is minimal entry point. With about 50,000, you can start doing that. Collection from door to door. Then you can scale that up, having a small tricycle to begin to collect from door to door and all that. So those are the minimum entry. Then you want to go up to the midstream, where we have the aggregators, where you need machineries like the balers. You need sorting materials, either manually or automatedly. So you need some machines, like I mentioned, the balers. That's the midstream, where you become an aggregator. Then you need a bigger space now, where you can actually aggregate from about 1 ton to 2 tons, 3 tons, 5 tons in a month. So you move to that level. The midstream again is where we have pre-processors, those who get involved in the crushing aspect of plastics or the crushing aspect of other materials like paper shredding and aluminum baling as well, or converting aluminum into ingots. These are pre-processing stages, which are midstream. So these ones, you need machineries, equipment, you need a washing line, either cold washing or hot washing line. You need the crushing machine, and then you need the maintenance as well. These are now at the midstream, is becoming a bit more capital intensive. So at that level, you are looking at entry point, you're looking at a minimum of 10 to 20 million naira to come into that space.
That's even on the downstream.
Yeah, on the downstream, which I said, that's just collection. The downstream, if you want to just collect, you don't need a vehicle like a tricycle and your jumbo bags and nets and the space. So at the downstream, if you want to go into it as a full business, you can come in as little as 50,000 naira. Sorry, excuse me. 50,000 naira.
I was gonna come in there to say that 50 million is the half the price you would need to get the APC nomination for.
You're talking about 50,000 naira to about 5 million naira.
Oh, okay.
You can enter at that point as the starting point. But at the midstream level that I talked about, you're looking at a minimum of 20 million to about 100 million, because that is a pre-processing stage. Then the last stage that we call the upstream, that is where the main recycling takes place, where materials are converted into new products, where you can convert your plastic bottle into fiber, polyester fiber, shredding it into yarn, where you can produce textile materials from plastic.
Okay.
Where you can produce new items from your aluminum cans, where you can produce toilet tissue papers, toilet papers from your waste papers. So then, those are now, you need heavy-duty machines, heavy-duty equipment. You now need a factory side. So, that is now, you're looking at about 150 to 200 million naira entrance. And on the waste to energy, it's in billions, because these are specialized equipment, and you need technology transfer and expertise as well.
Okay, let's look at it this way. I mean, I know you talked about the downstream, which is the basic in terms of collection of these recycle waste. I beg your pardon. Now you said that's just about 50,000. If the average Nigerian is looking minimum. If the average Nigerian is looking to invest, is that the possibility of investing into the various streams you've mentioned based on pardon?
No, based on minimum, if an investor is coming,
okay,
I told you present to the investor.
Okay.
Because across the value chain as well, the return differs based on your investment.
Okay.
And what do I mean? If you collect plastic bottle now, for discussion's sake, you collect a ton of plastic, which is 1,000 kilograms, without doing anything to it, just selling it to an aggregator, you'll be selling presently at about 60,000 to 80,000 naira. Okay. And you could have collected that for say 40,000 naira or 50,000 naira. So you would have done that. So that margin you can see. But if you now sell that to an aggregator who aggregates and has a machine like that we call baling machine that has a baler. They buy that 1 ton from you at 80 to 100,000 naira. They remove the labels, separate them into different colors, and then they build them, and they're now moving it forward to a pre-processor. It's going to crush them, wash them. They are going to be selling present market rate is about 220 naira.
Okay.
Minimum to sell a built plastic.
Okay.
So when you sell, you understand? So the value, then the person who now buys the built one now takes it through his system, either hot washing, cold washing, crushing it, and then either exporting or selling to local manufacturers who are going to use it. You're going to be selling at a minimum of 280 to 300,000 naira per ton. So you see how the value is going up at every stage.
Okay. Just as we wrap up.
So that will inform your level of investment and your level of engagement as well.
Okay, just as we wrap up this discussion, I would like to have your tips or pieces of advice to anyone who wants to delve into, the recycling business. Someone who is a novice and just wants to invest, in the business. What are the tips you would give the person, or someone who wants to start the business as, a means of livelihood?
Oh, okay. My honest advice, like I say, is you have to seek knowledge.
Okay.
Get wisdom, and in all you're getting, you get understanding.
Quickly.
The first thing to do is you look for someone who is doing it already, and then do a volunteer or mentorship program.
A stint.
Okay, that's fine. Because
it's not something you can just take the money and delve into, because it has its own trade secrets, it has its own ups and downs, like any other business.
Okay.
So I was going to ask, what the duration of training? What's the duration for the training? How long does it take?
Oh, okay. For the basic training, because in our industry, you can never be trained. I have a doctorate degree in waste management, but I'm still training. I'm still learning every day.
Okay. That's a fine place to actually leave
this. To leave the conversation. Okay. We've been talking about waste management and, of course, the recycling business. We've been talking with Femi, and he's been telling us what it entails, the cost implications, and, of course, the profit in the business.